Okay, so let us move to the second data structure, which is trees. Now we remember what linked lists are. So trees are nothing but linked lists, but we have multiple children instead of just one. Okay, so let's say what are the features? It is a hierarchical structure. We can allocate memory on the go just like we did in the normal linked lists. And what are the advantages? Advantages are nothing but moderate access, insertion, and deletion. How is it moderate? We will be talking about it later. And these are highly effective with huge amount of data and range of queries. Okay, so now trees themselves are not used typically, but we usually make some kind of modification to use them in specific kinds of applications, of which the first kind of trees which we use is the binary search tree. Okay, so what are binary search trees? Binary search trees are basically trees where we have children, two children, and the thing is the left child is always less than the root, and the right child is always greater than the root. Okay, so as we can see, the left subtree of a node contains only nodes with keys lesser than the node's key. Right subtree always has the keys with greater than the node's key. And we have left and right subtree also must be binary search trees. Now, what are the applications of binary search trees? Those are maintaining elements in sorted order and search elements efficiently. Okay, so why do we need binary search trees to store the elements in sorted order? We can use sorted array, but that's a problem. Why is it a problem? Because let's say if we just want to search, then sorted arrays are good enough for our purpose. But let's say if we have frequent insertions and deletions in the sorted array, then we will have to shift all of them whenever we are inserting or deleting. Now that is a problem for us because that greatly affects our time complexity. So let's see how. Okay, so the structure node over here is a general structure for binary tree. It's not limited to binary search tree. This will be same for binary search tree. This will be same for binary heaps and any binary tree. Okay, so basically we have the data integer key and we have the references to the left child and the right child. Okay, and then to create a new node, what we do is basically we use the malloc function to allocate the data on the whenever we require it. We store the item which we have passed in the function in the key, and we set the left and right as null. Okay, because whenever we insert, it doesn't have children, and we finally return that created node. Let's see how do we insert a node in a binary search tree. So over here we have a binary search tree, and now we want to add a node in this. So uh, how do we insert a node? Basically, we traverse the node in a specific way and we enter a new node. Let's see how do we traverse it. Let's say I want to enter data, which is, let's say I want to enter 10 in this. So how do we enter 10? First of all, this is our root, which is 5. Now we see what we want to enter in the tree is greater than 5. So we need to go to the right subtree of the 5. We go to the right subtree of the 5. We reach over here, which is 12. Now 12 is greater than 10, which means the node which we want to enter should lie in the left subtree. We go to the left subtree. Now it is 9. So again we want to go to the right subtree. Now over here, there is nothing to the right of 9, which means this is the place we want to enter our node. Okay, so let's see the code for this. So basically this is a recursive function which we'll be calling again and again. First of all, we see if the node is null, which is the case where we entered our node, then we return the new node which we created and append it. Okay, so and if the node is not null, we then see if key is less than the node's data, then we go to the left subtree, we pass in the left subtree in the recursive function and the key itself, else we pass the right subtree and the key itself, and we finally return this node. Okay, uh, so this is how we insert in the binary search tree. Now let's talk about the traversals for binary search tree. Now I told you that we can use binary search trees to store in sorted order. How do we store them in we saw how we store them in sorted order, but now let's say I want all of the elements in the sorted order. How do I retrieve them? We can simply use the in order traversal. Okay, so what is in order traversal? In order traversal says basically go to the left subtree first, then print the node itself, and then traverse the right subtree. So if you want to do the in order traversal on this tree which is over here, what we will do is basically we start with 5. We first call the left subtree which is 2 now. Again we call the first left subtree which is -4. Now there is no left subtree, so it gets back to this -4 gets printed, and now it calls the right subtree. There is no right subtree, so it gets back to -4. It goes to 2. There 2 gets printed, and we now reach 3. 3 gets printed, and it finally goes to 2. Again it goes to 5. 5 gets printed, and so on. This thing goes on. So here's the function of for in order traversal. If the node is null, basically there is the node doesn't exist, we simply return. Else we call the recursively call the left subtree of the binary search tree. So basically it goes to 5 to -4, then it gets printed. We print the middle data, and then we recursively again traverse the right subtree of the binary search tree, and so on. Okay, now in order is not the only one type of traversal. There are various types of traversal. Mainly there can be pre-order traversal, in which case the only change will be the printf statement will be above the left subtree, and in case of post order we call the left and the right first, and then finally we print. So what is pre-order traversal? Pre-order traversal is basically we print 5, then 2, then 4, and similarly then we go to the left subtree, and then finally we print the right subtree. Okay, so that's it for the binary search trees. Now let's move to heaps.